So, as we continue to explore the motifs that are developed in chapters 1 through 3 in this novel, we're moving on to loneliness. And loneliness is established in several ways. The first is in the very first line of the novel. A few miles south of Soledad, the Salinas River drops. The town Soledad comes from the word one, solo, right? So we already have this motif of loneliness established from the town that they're in. Then we get the image of this typical migrant worker. It starts in chapter 1 when Lenny asks George to talk to him about them and their friendship, right? And George starts out with the statement, guys like us that work on ranches are the loneliest guys in the world, right? So already the reader really gets that the typical migrant worker rancher lifestyle is very lonely. Then, when they get to the ranch in chapter 2, the boss becomes very suspicious of them. And when George asks him why, the boss responds, well, I've never seen one guy take so much trouble for another guy. I'd just like to know what your interest is. So we already understand that, again, the migrant's lifestyle is very lonely. And finally, we have Slim. Ain't many guys travel around together, he mused. I don't know why. Maybe everyone in the whole damn world is scared of each other. So Slim is not suspicious of them, but he does reflect that maybe the world would be a better place if people weren't always so lonely and distrusting of each other. Our third example of loneliness, the third place where the motif of loneliness is established, is the game of solitaire. We see this in chapter 3, where the guys are about to play a game of cards, and they all seem disinterested, Carlson especially, so George just gives up and plays his own hand of solitaire. Now, again, just like Soledad, the root of the word solitaire is solitary, alone. It is a game that you play alone, not with other players. This continues this motif of loneliness. Candy. Candy is our lonely, weak character. Poor Candy. After his dog is put down, after Carlson shoots his dog, we have Candy reflecting. You see what they done to my dog tonight? They says he wasn't no good to himself nor nobody else. When they can me here, I wish someone would shoot me. But they won't do nothing like that. I won't have no place to go and I can get no more jobs. So we see here Candy is reflecting on the fact that he is alone. His dog was the last thing keeping his company, and now he has no one. And he knows that when he's fired, he will have no one. He's desperate for someone to keep him company, which is why he's trying to get in on this dream that George and Lenny have. And finally, we have Curly and his wife always looking for each other. So Whit is the one who really points this out, right? Whit says sarcastically, he spends half his time looking for her and the rest of the time she's looking for him. And what you're going to see is actually at no point in this novel are they ever in the same scene together. They are always looking for each other, which is a unique loneliness because although they're married to each other and although they technically have someone else, they are the most lonely of anyone because they're alone in their marriage, always looking for each other. And we're going to really look at this in Curly's wife. One of the things we're going to see is that this helps to establish the idea of the importance of friendship. So that theme that's coming up through loneliness is how important friendship is. And we see how important it is by looking at the characters in this novel who don't have friendship. The only characters in this novel who are not lonely are George and Lenny.